You are listening to the AEP Radio Network.
Hey everybody, you're listening to AEP Radio, and I'm your host, Matthew Thompson. Our guest this week is Kelly Ferneau, Executive Vice President and Chief Nuclear Officer. In the next few minutes, we're going to get to know Kelly and ask her a few questions. Hi, Kelly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Matthew?
Pretty good. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get into the nuclear business? How did it all start?
When I was in high school, I went to Tri-State University for a week, and it was a program to try to get women interested in engineering. And one of the field trips we took during that week was actually here to the Cook Nuclear Plant Visitor Center. And after that trip, I was like, man, I want to work in nuclear power. And so I went to college, ended up going to Tri-State University. It's now called Trine. And then after that, had interviews with lots of different companies, and I picked nuclear power.
So you took a field trip to Cook, and that was when you made the decision, I want to be in nuclear. Is that correct?
Yep.
And
it's funny how full circle came.
I know. And now you are the chief nuclear officer for a power company, and you work at Cook.
Yep.
How does that feel? I mean, do you have to pinch yourself? Or probably oh my gosh, this is a dream.
Yeah. I think back about when I was at the visitor center and just being in awe of nuclear. And I can still remember the very first day I walked into Byron Station onto the turbine deck and saw how big and impressive it was. And it's like, wow, I get to do this every day. I love it. We provide a resource that the community needs. I feel proud of what we do, and I just love my job.
I know nuclear energy has been discussed a lot in our company lately. So what does the future hold for nuclear energy at AEP?
It's really an exciting time for nuclear. At Cook Nuclear Plant specifically, our current operating licenses expire, one of them in 2034 and one in 2037. So we're starting the process now to get an extended license to allow them to operate for 20 more years beyond that. So that's very exciting. We have a well-running plant. We've maintained our equipment. We've replaced a lot of it. So we should have no issues with being able to run it for another 20 years. And then for the rest of AEP, we are looking at small modular reactors. For us, the biggest thing is working with the states and trying to deliver the energy mix that they desire. Shane Lease, he has an organization, and they are running with the SMR piece for AEP, but they recently, had a news announcement that we're looking at early siting in Virginia.
So what are some of the benefits of SMRs? How will they be used to help out in the future?
So the main difference between the current nuclear fleet and the small modular reactors are newer technology and a smaller footprint. So with that smaller footprint, you limit the size of the area that you have to protect, both physically and from a radiological perspective. They are newer modules, so they have enhanced safety features. And then they can be deployed in groups, or they can be deployed singularly. So if it's just one, let's say, data center that wants to be powered by an SMR, that could be a possibility. You can group them together to provide energy for, a city, those types of things. So it is an interesting time because right now there's so many designs, and there hasn't been one picked yet that's going to be the forerunner. So it's kind of an exciting time to see what design is going to win and where's the first build going to go.
So what are some of the big advantages of nuclear power, compared to coal, hydro, etc.?
So for nuclear, the biggest advantage is it's carbon free. We don't have carbon emissions. So having a nuclear plant supports the carbon emission goals that we have as a company and as a country. And it's reliable. Nuclear plants have over a 90% capacity factor. And that's, the amount of time that they're supposed to be running compared to the times that they are running. If you look at the amount of land that we take up, if you had the same amount of electricity being generated at a solar farm, the solar farm is 31 times more land needed for a solar farm and 170 times more land needed for a wind farm to produce this amount of energy. If you look at nuclear fuel, it's made out of a whole bunch of little fuel pellets. Each pellet's about the size of a gummy bear. And the amount of energy in that gummy bear is the same as 1 ton of coal.
Wow, that's amazing. Now every time I eat gummy bears, I think of nuclear energy. So
There you go.
and I love gummy bears.
I think, we need a mix, as a company and as a country, but nuclear is really that most reliable, carbon-free, most power density option that we have.
That's awesome. Kelly, thank you so much. I want to thank our guest, Kelly Ferneau. Thanks to our listeners, and we'll see you next time on AEP Radio.
This has been a presentation of the AEP Radio Network.